in what this business can do for other people. Just like we can't sell our products unless we believe in them, we cannot sell our business unless we believe in it. Personally, my beliefs get stronger and stronger every day, and seeing how it builds other people's confidence and gives pleasure to so many people, it just wells me up sometimes. I was almost in tears at a party the other day. It was just so perfect. The people were so lovely, and I got big hugs from all of them, and it was just like one of those moments of perfection when I got out into the car. Anyway, there's no point in having a reason and belief if you're not passionate about what you're doing and what you can offer people. People need to feel your genuine enthusiasm. It will make them feel good and more interested in joining you. You also need drive to see you through, because it's not easy. You're going to have to push and push and push yourself to go and do that tabletop when you're tired, or to pick up the phone when you're not feeling that great, and to make calls that you don't really want to do. We have all been there, me included, when even the ironing seems to be more inviting than going on the recruiting trail. And it can be really hard if you've had a continual flow of no thank yous. But persistence will help you get there. You just have to keep going. Also, there's certain people you know will join you. You just have to wait until the time is right for them. We mustn't give up on them until they ask you to. Even then, sometimes your instinct will tell you that sometime they will come on board eventually. Building a team is a numbers game, and you must understand that you need to speak to loads and loads of people to find the ones that want to join. Having drive will help you push through the numbers and help you find your recruits, and this in turn helps your belief and fuels your passion. The most common failing of consultants is to start telling themselves that they're rubbish at recruiting after they've only had 10 people say no to them. They give up asking or even trying. They just feel so demoralised. But if they hadn't shared the opportunity, it would have been no anyway. And so you might as well keep sharing the love, as you will find people eventually. And the more people you ask, the faster you'll get there. So in summary to this page, there are trainings we can give you, processes we can teach you, and there are skills to practice, but these will be wasted unless you marry them to your belief, your passion, your persistence, and your drive. If you feel any of these qualities inside you are a wee bit weak, you need to speak to your upline and examine the reason why. They're fundamental to your successful recruiting. Okay, a successful recruiter will go out and hunt for people, and I don't mean to get head trophies or to skin them or any of that kind of thing. It's basically to help people to find the amazing job that we can give them. The easiest place for us to find people is when we put our apron on, which is at parties and tabletops and fundraisers. However, the more you get into this recruiting business, you realise that everyone could be a potential recruit and that people are everywhere. We all need to become like the martini girl. Now, I'm not sure if this is a good analogy or not. Anytime, any place, anywhere, but it's to talk about recruiting. Somehow or other, we need to engage with conversation with random people and finally try and bring Pampered Chef into the conversation. If there's any interest that's shown by them, then elaborate and then invite them to find out if it might be for them. Now, I don't know if any of you have done this, but sometimes I walk down the street and there's people everywhere, and I'm just bursting to go up to them and talk to them about Pampered Chef. I'm also tempted to lurk outside Lakeland. I don't know if any of you feel the same, but this is something that's actually outside of my comfort zone. But it's easier when you're out and about with children. It's much easier to strike up a conversation with other mums and dads. Maybe I need to borrow someone's children, I don't know. But always have something with you and take a note of someone's details as well as giving them your business cards. In fact, I usually say I don't have any cards on me just now. I tell you what, can I have your details and I'll send you something in the post or give you a phone. And that way, if they're genuinely interested, they will give me their details and I can follow up later. I don't know if any of you have experienced this either, but I notice when I'm out shopping, especially for the incentive trip, and the assistant asks me, are you buying your clothes or your shoes or your jewellery for anything special? And I'll say, yes, I'm going on holiday with the Pampered Chef. I'm going on a safari, or I'm going to London or Barcelona. It's amazing. It's going to be a 5-star holiday and it's totally free just for doing my job. Does Debenhams gives you free holidays? Actually, I should be saying something much posher, shouldn't I? Should we say Harvey Nicks? Does Harvey Nicks give you free holidays? But you're bound to get some questions asked when you give statements like that. And if they're interested, take their details. Have you ever complimented people who gives you good service in a restaurant and tell them that they're amazing? I did this to a girl in Marks and Spencer. She was really helpful, and I said, I'd really like you to join my team. And so she gave me her details, and it's just dawned on me I've totally forgotten to chase up that girl. I've been so busy, but I will track her down. People are everywhere. Karen Johnston has just recruited someone on a cruise. And apparently Karen Johnston was recruited on a cruise herself. So I don't know if that's an excuse for us all to go on cruises and recruit people, but it's quite a nice idea, isn't it? I personally have recruited a lady who is sitting next to me at the theatre in London watching The Lion King, just by telling her what I do and telling her that we need consultants in her area in Newcastle. So people are absolutely everywhere. We have to get the information out there and then invite people to come and join us. Now, this is a skill that does take a while to learn. So I always suggest that you have your infomercial on the tip of your tongue. And a good line, this is a wee tip from me, a good line is to say, the company are looking for people in this area. Would you be interested? Because then people don't feel this saturation, that word saturation, which there definitely isn't just now. And if you say there's nobody there, they think, well, that might be quite easy to get business because there's no competition here. So remember that line. The company are looking for people in this area or your area. Would you be interested to find out more? If they say no, then you say, well, would you consider having a few friends round and I could do a cooking show for you? And it will give you a bunch of free products and a really nice experience, and it would help me to introduce my business into your area. So if people are feeling helpful, they might do a booking for you and get you into an area, and then it gives you a whole new thread of contacts. Now, it's very easy for us to give lots of information out and to rave about how fabulous our job is, to give out a business card and hope that your story will have inspired that person so much they'll lie awake all night and then phone you first thing in the morning wanting to sign up. But actually, it doesn't really work that way. I'm sure you guys have found that. If they say they're interested, I'm reiterating this, just make sure that you've got their details from them as well. Then you can follow them up with an invite either to find out more or to invite them to something that's in their area in the future, especially if they haven't seen Pampered Chef. People need to be invited to consider joining you. They don't seem to be able to connect this wonderful job that you're telling them about that could be for them, and they could be part of our wonderful world. We actually have to invite them. And we're going to look at that later on, because there is a difference between informing people and inviting them. But we'll do that in a wee minute. Let's look first of all how we inform people at our shows and at our fundraisers. So at the beginning of your show, introduce yourself, thank the hosts and guests, and then give a bit of a story. So for example, it could be, hello everyone, thank you so much Sharon for hosting our party tonight. I really appreciate it. It's lovely to be in your gorgeous house, and thank you everyone for coming and supporting Sharon. My name's Allain, and I'm really looking forward to getting to know you a bit better as the night goes through. I would just like to inform you now, before you get too excited, that I'm not a chef. I'm just a lady. I don't even know if I'm a lady, but I've had to learn to cook because my husband doesn't. So I absolutely adore having Pampered Chef in my house, because even if I'm doing my oven chips, they taste so much better using a stone, and having all the right equipment in the house makes my life so much easier. I'm going to be cooking a really scrummy recipe tonight for you. It's a garden ranch pizza, and hopefully it'll inspire you to do the same dish at home for your family. This is a fantastic company. Please watch what I do tonight. It's so simple what we do, and if this is something that might interest you, I'll invite you at the end to find out a little bit more. We have so few agents in this area. In fact, I don't think we've got anyone just now, so you might be interested to become an agent and help promote our fabulous products. So whatever you want to say, that's just a blurb from me, but you want to get recruiting in right at the beginning. Now, I'm really excited to speak to you about a new idea that Linda Emmett told me today that I absolutely love. I don't know if you've ever done the why bag. And basically, I've got a picture here. I don't think you can, I can't see half of it because of the control screen, which I'm just going to move. But can you see in the picture, I've got my insulated shopping bag there.
Yeah.
That's going to be my why bag. And these are all the things I'm going to put into it. So instead of doing it at the end when people's kind of attention has kind of gone after listening to me yabbering on for half the evening, doing it at the very beginning and use it as an icebreaker. So let me tell you how this works. At the beginning, you empty your why bag on the floor. Everyone has a wee bit of paper and a pen, and you say, right, I'm just going to put these things away, take a note of what I've got here, pop everything back into your bag, and then say, I'm going to give you 2 minutes to try and remember all the things that I had on the floor. Then, once they've finished, the winner will get a wee prize, a wee quick cut paring knife or something. But then what you do is you take everything out of the bag one by one and explain why you've taken it in the bag. So for example, I don't have a pointer, I can't see the pointer, but if you look in the bottom left hand, you'll see my application form. That's how I found out it was nearly 15 years. So that would be my application form. So this is my application form when I joined Pampered Chef 15 years ago. And my goodness, that in this 15 years, my life has been totally changed with Pampered Chef. It's amazing what joining this company has done for me. You'll see there's a catalogue here. My house is stocked from top to bottom with the most amazing products. I get 2 new launches free every single year. I love the products. My husband's really pleased with me doing Pampered Chef as well because I cook far more. And look, there's a napkin saying, what happens at this party stays at this party. That was from conference. I make so many lovely, lovely friends in Pampered Chef. It's just like one huge, big family. There is a wee party squeaker there. My parties are such fun. I really enjoy my job. It's so nice to meet so many lovely people. And there's a wee chef's hat. That reminds me of some of the crazy antics me and the team get up to. At the front, there's a packet of love hearts. Gosh, sometimes you really, really, really feel the love for the people that you meet in this business, at your parties, at your guests, your hosts, in the team. It's an amazing people's business. In fact, if you look, there's a wee chef's hat there that's kind of golden, and that reminds me about the most amazing person I met, called T. Sandeman Charles, who was very, very ill, and I would talk the story about T and Save 5 and what she did, how she got 10,380 to sign up to the register before she died. I've got my mother's wooden spoon there. That taught me how important food is, and for the family to be centred around the table. And it's now our motto. It's our logo. It's Pampered Chef logo. And as you can see, I'm not going to bore you rigid. I've got self-development in there with Be a 10. I've got my daughter's wedding in there, which Pampered Chef paid for. I've got my iPad, which is technology that I'm learning. I've got my credit card bill there because Pampered Chef pays for my holidays to America twice a year. I've got my Pink Pixie book because that means I can help charities a lot, and it's a big part of my business. And I've got a pink coffee cup there with a coffee sachet, a tea bag, or a wee bottle of wine. So I would love to meet up with some of you lovely ladies and tell you more about Pampered Chef, and maybe you would sign your own agreement and change you and your family's lives too. And I love that. So watch what I do tonight and see if this would be something that would be of use to you. So that's another idea for bringing in the why bag, but at the beginning. So let's look at what you do throughout your cooking show and your fundraisers. You need to practice, obviously, make your job look easy and fun. I've watched consultants who are stressing out because they're doing like 3 or 4 recipes and they look so tired and harassed. Totally the wrong thing to do. Keep it simple, the best way to recruit, especially with station shows. But you need to sweep them up into your Pampered Chef world by telling stories, not just about you, but about other consultants as well, because people are all different, and what might interest you might not interest them. We all relate to different people. So a huge array of interests you're going to try and cover. Practice little ways to incorporate little stories or one-liners to get these messages into your audience's brains. I sometimes work them out while I'm driving my car. I chatter away to myself all the way to the parties. I'm sure some of you do that as well. I'm sure people think I'm mad if they look in the car and see me talking to myself. But I'm sure you've all got loads of lines of your own. Let me give you some of the ones that I use. I'm always very worried that people think that one has to be a great chef to do Pampered Chef. And I diss myself totally by saying that I'm not a very good cook, but I love just having the right tool for the right job because it makes my life so much easier. I say that my husband loves me doing Pampered Chef as I cook far more and far better now. I talk about Pampered Chef has boosted my confidence because I used to be really shy and it's helped so much with the finances in my family. I talk about how my husband used to have a fantastic job and got made redundant, and then all of a sudden all the bills came on to me and I can pay them. I'm so lucky to be able to do that. I talk about the holidays and I talk about how much I enjoy meeting all the fabulous people on my adventures. And I think telling these stories is informing the audience in a non-threatening manner. So when I go on and do the ticket game and the survey slips, I'm more up in front with them then, right in their faces really, but they're not frightened, they're more apt to listening, and it's also reinforcing what has gone on before. So messages that you want to get across to them are, your kitchen's full of fabulous products. In fact, some people join just to get the products at a discount. In fact, Nancy Jo Ryan joined 35 years ago to get the product, and she was going to leave after 6 shows. But 35 years later, she's still with us with a $50 million business turnover and with an income of $750,000. I love getting out and meeting so many fabulous people. I'm not really a television person. It's much more fun to get out and meet real people. And this company is great. There's absolutely no pressure put on you to do more than what you want to do and what works for you and your family. If I want to take time off or if my family is ill, I can do so. I'm my own boss. I'm quite a good boss, actually. Oh, I love the money that I get. I love going on holidays. I love shopping. You know, people join for different reasons. Maybe it is the money they're joining for. I talk about self-development. Some people join just to learn how to cook, in fact, and some people join to get confidence. It's really amazing some of the different reasons why people join. But we are a very supportive, caring bunch of people. Pampered Chef family is amazing. And I am so deeply grateful that Pampered Chef came into my life and what it's done for me. I'm sure you guys are as well. So try and get those messages across in your own way, in a non-threatening manner and in an entertaining fashion. Oh yeah, I forgot to talk about the holidays. That's the one I usually blether about the most. I'm just back from a safari in South Africa. It was absolutely fabulous. Okay, now if you've done the warm-up to finding out about your business, you kind of warmed them up with lots of stories, and then at the end you can say, right, I want to play a little game here. I'm going to give you a ticket for every question that you ask me about my business. I've got a really nice prize here for someone. And I usually have a little gift bag with lots of tissue in it, and maybe just a wee paring knife and a recipe book. Nothing big, but it looks good. And then what I'm going to say is I'm putting the timer on for a wee time. I don't tell them it's 5 minutes. I once put it on for 55 minutes, and I discovered after about 10 minutes that I'd made a mistake. They all laughed. But my goodness, you can get a lot of questions done in 5 minutes. And if they're asking really good questions, then I keep it going. Does it matter? You know, the main thing is to get the message out there. If no one's going to ask me a question, I start off myself. So I'll ask one and say, "Okay, Allain, how many times do you go out a week to a party?" And I'll say, "Very good question, Jen," and I'll give Jen in the front row a ticket. And then I'll say, "Well, I'll go out depending what I want to do. So if there's a really nice incentive on and I want to work harder than I want to, I might do 3 in a week. But if I'm, got a lot of other things on, a lot of family commitments, I might just do 1. In fact, I might not do any." It's brilliant being able to choose how much one works. Do you get to do that with your job? And what I do is I just keep going. Once you've given 1 ticket away to someone and they're still hesitant about asking a question, I'll do it to someone else. Now we've got a competition going, and they all start. So keep it going if they're and the questions get really more and more personal. And sometimes they don't like to ask you about money. So if they don't, I'll say at the end, "Oh, that's interesting. No one's asked me the really important question." And someone will. And then what I'll do is I'll give them a gamut of commissions that people earn. So I'll say, well, some of the girls just go out once a month. So they might earn 75, 100, 150 pounds. But then other people who've made a big career out of it, they're into 6-figure sums of money. So really it's up to the individual how much they work. How much would you like to earn? And throw the question back. So ticket game is great. What I do then is I draw a name out of the hat, I give that person the prize, and then I go on to do the survey slip, because that's really important. Because with the survey slip, we're now inviting people. So what we've done in the beginning and throughout the show, and definitely with the ticket game, we've informed people. We've given them loads of info. Now we need to put the hook in and find out who's interested. So talk them through the questions, and when you come to the bit about our business, you talk and say, "I think you've probably learned quite a lot about our business tonight, and I know none of you came here looking for a job, but maybe what we've discussed might have made you interested. So if you're at all interested to find out a little bit more for yourself or for a friend, do tick yes or maybe, and I'll give you some information at the end, and we can explore whether this might be worth meeting for a coffee at a later date." Talk them through it. You're inviting them to join. You're telling them as well that Pampered Chef is needing more agents. We're coming up to the winter months, to Christmas, and that makes sense to lots of people. I mean, we're pretty consistent the whole year round, but the general public would think very busy at Christmas, and that might be a nice way to pay for Christmas. But just make sure that they know that you're going to invite every single one of them to join you at the end, or to refer someone. In fact, you can actually even say to them, "If I don't invite you to join my business or find out more about it, you can find me and I'll give you 10% off your order." And when you put your money there, oh my goodness, you'll be asking everyone. If they say no, still offer to give them a Discover Us leaflet, and maybe say that if someone of their friends joins, that you'll maybe give them a wee gift to say thank you. But the main thing is to open up a conversation with them and then explore what their no's mean, because very often a no is not now. So we've talked a little bit about informing. We've done loads of informing. We're all very good at informing, but we're maybe not quite so hot at inviting. So let's see if we can tell the difference. So here we are. Pampered Chef's fabulous. I can work hours that fit around my family. The children have so many hobbies now that it's really difficult to find work that does so. Now that's definitely informing. It's all about me. And what we're hoping here is someone will relate to that and say, oh, that would work for me. But maybe the people there don't even have children or not even thought about what you're trying to say. They might have missed that line. So what you need to do is when you're speaking to them is say, you have young family. Pampered Chef would give you the flexibility to work around their hobbies. Would you like to know how? Now they've got it right in their faces and they've got to think about it. And then you'll get your answer, yes, no, or maybe. Here's another inform. I love Pampered Chef. It's such fun and the money is good too. Anyone can do it. Okay, that's good. You've told the world that. But how about inviting that person to say, I think you would love doing Pampered Chef. Can I treat you to a coffee and maybe cake and then I can tell you more about it? And you've invited them. You've made them feel special. Okay, now I'm going to be very honest with you about this. Let me tell you about the Big Mac call. It's the morning after call. It's actually very complimentary to call someone and tell them how much you like them. You wouldn't feel insulted if someone phoned up and said, I really enjoyed your company last night, Sharon. You were so enthusiastic about the products. Did you enjoy yourself? And take the conversation from there. So if you phone someone the next day and pay them a huge compliment how much you enjoyed their company and you think they would be fantastic at Pampered Chef, they won't insult you if they say no. They won't be insulted. They'll maybe say no thank you, it's not for me, but you'll have had made some kind of communication, some kind of connection with them, and maybe they will come and join you in the future. Maybe they'll say, well, no, not just now, I'm very busy, I've got exams that I'm studying for, but after that I might be interested. Or no, it's definitely not for me, but one of my sisters might. So you really are investing your time sensibly if you phone people the day after. If you do that twice, can you imagine how your business will explode? I'm not sure how many shows you ladies are doing. If you're doing 6 shows a month, that would be 12, which would be 12 people that you've spoken to about the business. Well, I'm sure if you speak to 12 people about a business, you'll find someone who's going to be interested in Pampered Chef. Now, I'm going to be very honest with you. I'm going to hold my hand up and say, I've never done this in my life before. I've only called people who have mentioned that they're interested to find out more. So I'm going to be very, very brave and stand out of my comfort zone. And I'm going to challenge all of us to do this. Are you ready? I hope you're writing all this down.
Yep.
I think if you haven't done this or you're not doing this, you need to go back through your last 5 shows and pick 2 people from each one and call them. And just whatever you want to say, whatever you're comfortable with. I'll be saying something like, I'm really excited, we've got some fantastic new products out, we're away to do our Help with Cancer campaign, we're needing some consultants just now, and I just thought of you because I really enjoyed meeting you at Paula's show, and I just wondered if you might be interested in earning some extra cash this Christmas and having fun and having your kitchen stocked with our products. And see where the conversation goes. She might not, she might book a show, she might become a pink pixie, I don't know, but unless I do it, I won't find out, it'll be a no. So I'm going to do that. I'm going to go for my last 5 shows. Actually, I've probably phoned some people from them because I do phone people that's interested, and I usually get a recruit from each show, not from each show, a lead from each show. But I'll go back and do some people. Oh my goodness, I've also got loads of leads from the tabletops. We've missed a slide, actually. I'll try and find it. So that's the challenge, is to go through your last 5 shows and pick 2 people and call them. Practice the Big Mac call with them. And after you've done that, your next 5 shows that are coming up, you will have the confidence to make the Big Mac call after all of them. Can you imagine? That is 10 shows with 2 people at each, so that's 20 shows. Oh my goodness, that could be the start of something amazing. That could be getting you to the trip in London. In fact, you can do more than that if you want to.
Allain, can I ask, just to clarify, can you hear me?
Yeah. I can hear you.
Thank
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yeah, thank you. No, it's just so you're saying what you're saying is that you're picking the last 5 shows, picking 2 people, and it's purely for practice. You're not just simply going in with the idea of just this is me practicing the Big Macs.
Absolutely. And d- d- uh, whether you want to tell the person you're practicing or not, it doesn't matter. I personally wouldn't. I would just say that you're preparing for the Christmas market.
Oh,
And in
good idea.
practicing on people, you might find someone.
I like the sound of that.
Sorry, did someone say something?
No, it's just me.
Yay! Okay, that's fine.
Thanks.
So after we've done that, it should give us the confidence to make it a habit to call 2 people after every show. I've heard people having such success with this. And then if everyone gets back to your team page, to the Team Wallace Facebook page, then you will be able to compare notes how that has gone. Yeah? This could make a fantastic difference to your business. Now, this is really where we should be finishing, but I'm going to add something to this. I seem to have lost a slide on fundraising, sorry, not fundraising, tabletops. And I'm just going to talk you through it. So there won't be a visual for this, but I have to tell you, I've just done 4 days of trade stands. We had the Turriff Show, which is up near me, and we went away up to Inverness to the Black Isle. And oh my goodness, I'm so excited. There's something in the air just now that has changed. We've all got recruit leads. And what I noticed is this. We had some consultants with me, and the consultant would look at the customer or speak to the customer, and they would be concentrating on selling a product, you know, selling the food chopper, selling the crinkle cutter, and then they would crank it up a gear and then talk about booking a show. You might like to get it free and booking a show, and then that would be the end of the conversation. Now that happened with one girl, and as the girl was walking away, she had a very young baby, 6-week-old baby, lovely girl. I just poked my head round the corner and said, would you be interested in earning some extra cash around your family, your baby? And she came straight back and said yes. Now, if she hadn't been invited, she would have walked away, or she might have bought a crinkle cutter, and that would have been the end of the story. So when you're doing a trade stand, you must invite people. You have a very short time because there's people coming. You just have to get straight to the point. Now, what I did after that was speak to the consultant and say, look, when you're at one of these, what you need to do is you reverse the whole thing. You go straight for recruiting. You speak to the person, how well do they know Pampered Chef, blah, 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 blah. We're looking for people in this area. Please remember that line. It's so important. We're looking for people in this area. Would you be interested to earn some extra cash for Christmas? And then the majority of them are going to say no, but that's okay, because then you would fall down to, that's fantastic, that's okay, no worries. If you know of anyone, I'll give you a catalogue and you'll have my details. Would you be interested to host a show? And then they might fall down, and not fall down, you're falling down into easier fields. Then you would maybe get a show from them. If that failed, then you'd say, well, how about if I give you a couple of catalogues and you collect some orders and I'll give you some discount off your order. And then that might work, and in which case I'd give them about 4 catalogues and build it up a bit more. If that would fail, I would probably then fall down to, do you want to buy a raffle? So you go from the top of the mountain, which is recruiting, booking, collect some catalogues, collect some orders, buy something or buy a raffle, and move on. Now, after saying that to the consultant, she tried it on the next person, and she poked me in the ribs after the person had gone and said, it works, it works. Now, I don't want to mention any names, but that consultant has got 2 ladies signed and a possible other 2 from doing that trade show. Then we moved up to the Black Isle, and exactly the same happened up there. So Ruth up there has got a whole pile of leads, and we'll be following them up as well. And I've obviously got a couple and some more leads as well. So ladies, if you can go out and do a trade stand just now, do it. There's people out there needing work, and there's people out there booking. Ruth phoned 3 people last night and got 3 bookings from her leads. So, you know, trade stands are amazing as well. So I hope that helps. So that's all I have to say. I don't know if you want to do question and answer, but thank you so much for listening to me rabbiting on here. and I look forward to hearing how you all get on.
Allain, thank you so much. I have to say that was really useful, and even even after 10 years, like, there's a lot of big things there. I've taken a lot of notes. I think I might go back to doing the while bag again. I used to do it years ago and just got out of the habit. So I think that's good, because you've almost got visual prompts to remind you, get that recruiting bid in, get that recruiting bid in. Cool. No, I like that a lot.
And if you do it at the front, you've got people's full attention because they haven't got worn out with the show, or and it's used as an icebreaker as well.
Yeah.
So I love that idea too. I'm going to be doing that too. Thanks.
Okay, so that's good. What I was going to do now is open it up to everybody here. We've got a question and answers option. Some time for that. So what I would suggest is, if anybody has a question or a point you'd like to make, or any feedback you'd like to give Allain, please could you stick up your hand. The kind of, on your control panel, you should have a little hand that you can click on. Oh, there's Pauline Ray. Okay, so I'm going to unmute you, Pauline. What would you like to say, or any question you have for Allain?
Can you hear me now?
Hi, Pauline. Yeah, we can hear you.
Yay, I found my microphone. What I wanted to ask, Allain, was, you were talking about doing the stories during the show.
Yeah.
How do you fit that in now, doing station shows? Because I know you're doing station shows. How do you fit that in with the way that the station show works?
Yeah, I'm not doing purely station shows. I'm an old-fashioned person, and some of my country folk just want to be entertained. So I do most of my storytelling at my country shows. But let me think. When I'm doing a station show, I have an introduction. Before we start, I do an introduction. So I would be talking in there about, I always try and play down my cooking skills. Not that they're that great anyway, but I can cook. So I always talk down my cooking skills, because I'm worried in case people think they have to be chefs to do Pampered Chef. I want to get that illusion out of the way. I talk about fun. I'm trying to think what I say. You should come out with me sometime, Pauline. And I always talk about the trips. I always talk, it was an amazing time in South Africa with the company this year, and God, it was so moving to see these baby elephants feeding in front of us, Have any of you been in safari? Oh, you need to come and join Pampered Chef, amazing holidays, that kind of thing. But you have to be careful. It's a fine line between them getting into conversation and totally off track, then discussing safari in general. Do you know what I mean? You have to be careful how you play it. My stories are best told when I've got a captive audience, it's more at the end I would talk to them about the business. Catherine's really good at station shows. She floats around from station to station saying, oh, what fun my job is. I don't have to do anything. You do all the work now. She does subtle, amusing things like that. I don't know if that's helped, Pauline, but that's my take on that.
Right, no problem. I mean, I don't have a problem doing the stories.
Surprise, surprise. You'll have to come out with me. Come up sometime and come out with me.
Yeah, I think I would. Yeah, that would be good.
I think as well, with the new style of station show, it's kind of figuring out how, again, with anything new, it's trying to find the balance. And Allain, you and I are kind of old school, kind of classroom demonstration style. That's the way we were taught. So it's difficult to kind of figure out how to rejig things. But I like what you're saying there, and it's just finding a new way of working these recruiting bids in.
I've got a wee challenge there for Pauline. Pauline Ray, you recruit 2 people and you can come up and spend the weekend with me up here and we'll go out together.
Okay, Allain.
You're on. Fantastic.
Thanks, Pauline. Anybody else got any questions or comments they'd like to make? Okay. Tracy Miller, you have the floor.
It's the wee leprechaun.
Am I in my closet? Oh, dearie me. You get me into trouble, Allain.
You get yourself into trouble, Tracy.
Thanks very much for all your wisdom tonight, Elaine. It's magnificent as ever.
Thank you.
I've chatted to you about this before, about tabletops. I have a real issue with tabletops. I've got one coming up this Saturday, and I really struggle to get people's details.
Okay.
Have you got any like top tips in just trying to, hand over your details kind of thing?
Yeah, absolutely. So you have clipboards with, I have 3 or 4 clipboards with survey slips on them, because sometimes it depends how busy you are, because you want to have every single person filling in a survey slip. Now, it depends how busy you are on the stand. Okay, so I usually have a working display, turnips with crinkle cutters, all that stuff, Play-Doh and to be things in the deluxe mini muffin tray and all that kind of stuff. So there's maybe a little bit of food, but I don't want to attract the grazers, because they just clog up your stand as they eat their way around. So as people pass, I'll jump out at them. Hello, are you enjoying the show? Nice time. Da, 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 da. Do you know Pampered Chef? That's my line. Do you know Pampered Chef? And take the conversation from there. Now, there's certain people are going to give you vibes. The body language tells you that they're nervous or they don't really want to speak to you. But there's other people that are very friendly and they're very lovely to speak to, and you kind of chatter away. Now, what you don't want to be doing is standing blethering about the weather and the general state of the world or whatever for the next 3 hours. You have to have in your mind where you want to go, and what you want is recruiting, booking, all that stuff. So once you've established they know Pampered Chef, I usually check, have they been to a party recently? Because I don't want to be poaching other people's customers if they, if they're all involved with other people. If they haven't been to one for ages, I love that line. Oh my goodness, that's because we've so few agents. We really need agents in your area. I don't know, would that be something that would interest you or any of your friends? And then you take it from there. Then what you would do is you would at some stage say to them, after you've been pleasant, you've endeared them to you, you would say, we're running a free price draw, would you be interested? And you just put the clipboard and the pen in front of them. Have got a where we number
Elaine? Elaine, can you hear me?
Hello? Yes.
I don't know if
it's to improve some things. Let me turn some things off here. Do I turn off that? It's turning some things off here because I've got too many things on. Is that a bit better?
That sounds better. Yeah.
It could also be our connection broadband is pretty rubbish here just now. Is that better?
Yeah, great. Thank you.
Can you hear?
Yep.
Yes.
Brilliant. Okay, sorry about that. The joys of living in the country. Right, what was I talking about? Raffle, yes. So what happens there is you would collect £1 for them for the raffle as well, and you'd put a pound sign on the top of the survey slip, so they're now entered into the free prize draw and the survey slip, and the raffle, which is the survey slip. Now, in doing that, I don't know if this is actually legal, but I'll better keep quiet. Oh, you've recorded this, Sharon, haven't you?
I won't pass it to the police, I promise.
Yeah. Eek. What I do here is I collect money, which helps pay, if it's a £300 stand, you might collect a couple of £100, which takes the cost down. And if we've money, or a £100 stand, it takes the cost down. If there's money left over, it goes into help with cancer. My justification in doing this is if we weren't standing there, we wouldn't be getting bookings, we wouldn't be getting the leads for the fundraiser to help the charities, I usually have my Pink Pixie book there for people to sign and commit to being a pink pixie and things. But people were quite happy to give you their details that way, Tracy, and you're looking over their shoulder to see what they're ticking, and if you're seeing they're going yes, 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 you say, oh, that's fantastic, let me give you some more information and I'll phone you, whatever. But the conversation that you're engaging them in is usually you're getting the feedback then as to how interested in they are. I'd love to come down and work with you at a table stop. I feel I'm really good at helping people there. So if I can, if you've got a top down there that I can fit in coming down to, I'll jump in a train or bus and come down and stand beside you. And Sharon, if Team Wallace is doing, I mean, there's just been the big foodie festival. If you guys are doing something like that, let me know. I'd love to come down and work with you and see if I can help develop people how to speak to people.
Great.
Because it's great fun once you're into it, yeah?
No,
Tracy, I hope that helps.
It did. Thank you very much, Elaine.
And Mrs. Miller, yeah.
No, you're. I think that's where you are absolutely shine, because I've done a few tabletops with you over the years, and that's where you absolutely shine. You're excellent at speaking to people. I think that's a real strength of yours. So if anyone gets the opportunity to ever see Allain in action, go take it.
Thank you. I'm still rubbish at the Irish dancing, but never mind.
Yeah, you need to work on that one.
Okay. We'll have to watch our time because we're nearly an hour.
Yeah. Okay. And then, is there any other questions that people have? You know, we've got a few minutes left. If anybody has a question.
Is that okay?
Yeah. You raise your hand. Fiona, Jill, Kate, Laura, Leslie, Lizzie, Rachel. Any of you got anything you want to say? Okay. Oh.
Speak to me.
Pauline. Pauline's back online.
Pauline? Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Have you recruited two yet, Pauline?
Well, I've been too busy listening to you, Allain.
Oh, darn.
Oh, darn it. Yeah. My thing was, it was just going back to that why bag. I've done that in the past and had stopped doing it because I'd done it so much I'd bored myself. But I like that idea. Was that Linda?
Yeah,
putting it
Linda,
all out on the floor and making it a game.
She'd been to a party where it was actually the top party-like person in the whole of the UK. She went to a party. She didn't know she was the top person, and that's what she did. In fact, this woman was amazing. She'd just come off a cruise, her and her husband, and gone straight to do a party. And she even booked a party with Linda, and Linda lives an hour and a half away. So that's the top person in Body Shop, is out doing parties day and night, you know? How amazing is that?
Okay.
But anyway, yes, that was a good thing. She said she wrote in the order form, but I think it'd be better with a bit of slip of paper or something to give everyone in a pen.
Yeah. Okay.
Sorry, I'm rabbiting now.
No, I just thought I liked that little twist of it, turning it into a game.
Yeah. Okay. Kate has a question, Pauline. So I'm just gonna mute you, darling. You've no idea how much pleasure that gives me. And Kate, you're on the air.
Hi,
Hello.
Kate.
Hi, Allain. Hi.
Hi, darling.
It was really just a comment, to be honest. I mean, obviously I've taken loads of notes as well. It's been fabulous. But I think going back to the Big Mac call thing, I've kind of realised over the past sort of few weeks in conference and everything that I actually need to be told things countless times over and over again before they finally sink in.
Okay.
So, I think the Big Mac call is something that I've been told about, I know about, we all do. But actually now, having spoken about it again today, it makes sense, and it reminded me of Nicole Baker. I think it was either at leadership or conference, and she spoke about making Big Mac calls, and that's how she turned her business around.
Yeah.
She promoted to director and upwards with Big Mac calls. So definitely, I think that challenge is fantastic, and I'm going to go and I've got the day off tomorrow, so that's going to be top of my list of things to do.
There you go. Well, there you go, Kate. When you get to your two recruits, you can come up and we can have a weekend here.
Well, fabulous.
Oh, we'll have to have a retreat up here, I think, Sharon. What do you think?
Sounds good.
I tell you what, record that and play it every night you go to sleep, and that'll get it into your head, yeah?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Okay.
Thanks, Kate. Okay, and
Okay, thanks.
Laura has a question or something you want to say, Laura?
Yeah, I was just wanting to say, I've taken loads of notes, but I'm a really slow writer, so is there any chance we could get copies of the pointers at some point, put up on something or an email or something?
Yeah, well, what I can do...
I'll get that to Sharon, don't worry about it.
I can get Allain's overheads, or project PowerPoint, but also as well I can email out the recording as well to anybody who wants to watch it again.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a bit like...
It was fabulous.
It's
very funny as well.
It's a...
Very funny and entertaining as well.
about just the reiteration, and sometimes I find it very useful going back and listen to a training a second time around, and you actually really kind of cement in the knowledge then. So I'll get that out to everybody that's on the call. Okay, it's just coming up to past now, and I don't want to take up too much more of Allain's time. Anybody got a final thing? One more, or will we draw a line there? Any more hands up? Oh, Mrs. Benfold. Go for it.
Oh, hand down.
Yeah, go on. Leslie, you're okay?
Is it the mic? The mic's open, yeah.
Yes.
Hi, Leslie, go for it. I can't hear.
I can't hear you, Leslie. Are you on mute?
Can you hear?
No, I can't hear her, Allain. Have you muted at your end,
Oh,
Leslie?
she's maybe got herself on mute.
Hello?
Hello?
Hi.
Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Sorry,
Is that you?
technology and myself. Yes, good. Okay, and it was really just a suggestion that I took a couple of screenshots on the iPad of the slides, so rather than taking lots of notes, it might be a quicker option for folk.
There you go,
Oh,
clever
bless you.
thoughts.
Oh, you've done it. You've listened to it on the iPad. Wow, that's amazing. I didn't realise you could do that. Yeah.
That's the joy of webinars. You can actually, if like I know there was somebody who dialed into a webinar from the kids' swimming lessons. She was sitting there with her via her iPhone and her headphones plugged in. So it just makes it far more mobile.
Yeah, oh, I'll learn it one day.
Well, you're here doing it, Allain. So, okay, what we'll do is thank you to Allain for the time this evening and also for the preparation. These things don't literally just fall out of Allain's mouth. She's obviously put some time and effort into this, even though she's a clear natural of what Pampered Chef does is all about. So thank you to Allain for that. Thank you to you guys for dialing in. I will download the recording. I think I have to wait 24 hours before I can do that, to get it in a smaller format, and I will email it to every one of you that have dialed in. Okay, any questions in the meantime, please do come back to me or come back to Allain. I'm sure, well, I don't offer up your services there, Allain, but I'll happily forward anything on to Allain. And also as well, please, the challenge, let's do this. I'm up for doing this as well, and I've got people who I want to call, so I just need to kind of just get my act together and be proactive and be intentional. That's my plan. I'm being intentional about making these Big Mac calls the next week and update on the Facebook page. Okay, so on that note, I'll bid you all good night. And a massive thank you to Allain. So on behalf of myself, the director team and the consultants and features, Allain, thank you for your time tonight.
You're welcome. Thank you for inviting me, and good luck everyone with your Big Mac calls. Are you, what is it? Are you interested or are you committed? That's it.
That's the one.
Well, I know I should be committed, but never mind. Okay.
Good night, everybody.
Lots of love. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.